Hello and welcome to Run Testers. My name's Nick and this is our first run review of the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. The Magnify Nitro 3 is a shoe that quite a few commenters have been asking us to test out and review. It sits above the Puma Velocity Nitro 4 within the Puma range as a higher stacked model that's also a bit heavier and a little bit more expensive, but basically quite similar all round to Velocity, just with a higher midsole stack of this Nitro foam. It costs £130 in the UK, $160 in the US. It weighs in at 280 grams or 9.9 ounces in a UK size 9, it's a US size 10, so it's pretty lightweight for a max cushion shoe that's competing against, I guess, other top premium neutral options like the Gel Nimbus from Asics or the Saucony Triumph. It has a 10mm drop from heel to toe and a stack height of 40mm at the heel, 30mm at the forefoot. Got an engineered mesh upper on the Magnify Nitro 3. It's almost got like a knit texture in the front though, and it's very stretchy around there and quite thick. I think it's going to be quite a thick upper around the forefoot. You've got some padding around the heel and on the tongue, but not too much. It's not as plushly padded as some of the shoes you'll find in this category, so which I prefer. I tend to prefer a more stripped back kind of design around the collar in general, so we'll see how I get on with this. And there's an internal heel counter there as well. Then you've got a big stack of Nitro foam in the midsole with sidewalls of foam around the back midfoot there to add some stability. Now what exactly Nitro foam is these days is a matter of some debate because Puma has changed it quite a lot. It's a nitrogen infused foam of some type. I think with the Velocity Nitro 4 it's an aliphatic TPU, which is what they also use on their racing shoes, but with the Velocity Nitro, it's redesigned to be more suitable for daily training, and I think that's probably what you've got here on the Magnify Nitro 3. That's probably what I'm going to go with. I don't think it matters too much exactly what the foam is. It feels soft and bouncy. It feels good all round. We'll see how it feels on the run. Then you have a Puma Grip outsole on the Magnify Nitro with pretty good coverage on the forefoot and heel. Puma Grip has always delivered very good traction and durability in our experience of other shoes, so sure it'll be the same here with the Magnify Nitro 3. Just heading out to do my first run in the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. Got a nice easy hour on the plan today after a long run yesterday, so kicking off the week with an easy run today. Nice and sunny, going to go enjoy a relaxed run probably in the local forest, a bit of mixed terrain, mostly road, but there'll be some dry hard pack paths in there as well. Looking forward to seeing how the shoe feels. Big fan of the Velocity Nitro 4, so hoping for basically a similar experience with a bit more cushion underfoot. We'll see how it goes. So just back from first run in the Magnify Nitro 3, a very pleasant run it was too, just cruising along in the shoe and yeah, getting the mile started for the week with a nice gentle run. Shoe felt really good, and I do think the foam you're getting in this and the Velocity Nitro 4 just is a step up on what you're really getting from other brands at these kind of price points in these kind of shoes. Like, it's a really fun foam. It's got a load of squish and comfort at the heel of the shoe, and then more bounce and pop at the front than you really get from most shoes, I think, in this kind of bracket. If you're looking at things like, I don't know, the Brooks Glycerin 22 or the Saucony Triumph or the Asics Gel Nimbus, they aren't shoes built quite like this. And it is a bit different because it's not gone for the really wide platform, the Magnify Nitro 3 you get on most of those shoes. It hasn't got a load of natural inherent stability. And I do think it isn't the most stable shoe around the midfoot. It does narrow a bit there. You've got a fairly soft foam. I think if you are someone who needs a bit of support, it might not work that well, but if you don't, it rolls through really nicely. You get a nice amount of kind of snap and punch from the foam, even at relaxed paces. I picked up the pace a little bit today and it felt pretty good. I'll do something a bit faster in it tomorrow. I think it will handle it really well as what is a very cushioned shoe, but a reasonably lightweight one for its size, with a foam that I do think just is a bit bouncier and more fun than you're getting from most shoes around here. So yeah, excited to go out in it again. Don't love the black colorway. Also quite hard to film. I'm not sure how the cutaways will come out of me running if not in an all black shoe, but other than that, really enjoyed that first run in it. It just seems like a really well put together shoe with a really nice ride. Won't suit everyone. It is quite narrow, I think, both in terms of fit and just the width of the platform you have underneath your foot. But for cruising around today, it was great, and I think it's going to be reasonably versatile as well. So yeah, good fun first outing there. So, quick word on the fit of the Magnify Nitro 3. I've got my normal size here, which is UK 9, US 10. And with Puma, sometimes they come up a bit long. I think their US 10s are sometimes a touch longer than something like a Brooks US 10 or a Saucony US 10. I think actually often it comes down to the amount of cushioning at the back of the shoe and how far forward it pushes my foot. But yeah, I've probably got a tad too much room in it. I could potentially go half size down. As someone who's often in between sizes, I probably would go for the smaller one if you're in that situation like me. Other than that, it's quite a hot upper, I'll definitely say that. Like, it's a reasonably hot run today, and the forefoot, this kind of knit stretchy stuff
yeah, definitely my foot feels a bit hotter coming out of the shoe than it does with most shoes that are a bit more breathable. It's got a nice, fairly relaxed fit around the back though. It's not too overly cushioned around the back there for me. I think my foot is held quite nicely and securely, but there's no chance of any irritation or anything like that. Pretty narrow around the midfoot. Like the fact that I noticed, something on the sides of my foot, to the extent that I did, means that it must be pretty narrow, because I have a very narrow foot and I basically never even notice anything. I fit most shoes quite well, but yeah, this says, and it isn't a problem for me. I think the hold is quite nice around my midfoot, but it's definitely present. And if you have a wide foot around that point, I think you're going to find them maybe a bit cramped around there. So yeah, there's definitely a few points on fit I'd look out for here. It's a pretty warm upper. I think if you're in between sizes, I'd go for the smaller one and look out for the narrowness around the midfoot, but none of those actually added up to be a problem really for me on the run. But yeah, just a few things to look out for. Overall, the foot was fine for me, but I do think it's a fit that might cause some issues for some people.
So, early verdict on the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. That was a really strong first run. Really enjoyed getting it out in it today. You've got a really nice ride to it, lots of cushioning. It does what I was hoping it was going to do in terms of being a more cushioned, more stacked version of the Puma Velocity Nitro 4, which we're all very big fans of here on the channel. And the Magnify Nitro 3, does recreate that feel in a higher stack shoe. So you are getting a cushier feel than with the Velocity Nitro 4, especially at the heel, which was comfortable and appreciated today by myself on tired legs for that easy run. And despite the fact you've got more stack than the Velocity Nitro and it is a bit heavier, it is still a pretty light shoe for its category. It's not as maxed out in terms of cushioning as some options here that go above 40 millimeters, but it's a high stack shoe. There's definitely enough foam underfoot and you are still getting a pretty lightweight shoe. It ticks off its main job, which is to be an easy day cruiser. For me today, it worked well for that, but I do think it's also going to have quite a lot of versatility and could be a really strong one shoe option for people who want a big cushion shoe to tackle lots of different runs. I think it's going to be able to do that job well. You've also got a really good outsole here, as you expect from Puma. I'm not such a big fan of the upper all round, a few little complaints about that, but nothing that really detracted too much from my enjoyment on the run. There is the Puma Mag Max Nitro as well. That's a shoe I just never really got on with, didn't click with. I know it's a shoe that lots of people really love, but I had problems with the fit around my Achilles. It did tend to irritate my Achilles, which was a bit odd, and I found the ride just a bit too heavy and clunky to really be enjoyable for me, or as enjoyable as the Magnify Nitro 3 was on that first run there. So yeah, certainly lots more testing to come, but a positive first impression of the Puma Magnify Nitro 3 there. The price is also really good in the UK, undercutting most of the top of the range premium neutral shoes with lots of cushioning. They're shoes that seem to have been subject to quite severe inflation here in the UK compared to the US. So things like the Triumph and the Gel Nimbus, they're really expensive here. And actually, the price in the US is more similar to the Magnify Nitro 3, although it is still a pretty good value shoe there. So yeah, you're taking off value. The performance is good on easy runs today. We'll do more testing to check out the versatility, but a good start to life for the Magnify Nitro 3 and a shoe I'm really looking forward to getting out again. So that's our first run review of the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. We'll be back in a week or two with a full review plus some direct comparisons to other shoes, including the Velocity Nitro 4, maybe the Mag Max Nitro as well. Please do dive into the comments of your thoughts on the shoe, like and subscribe, ring the little bell so you get notified when we release each video, and we'll see you next time.